Hello again and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you what I do as part of my practice in free ranging my chickens and what I believe to be some of the benefits associated with this practice. If you've been following my videos, you would notice that I have an enclosed indoor run and a protected outdoor run. However, I occasionally allow my chickens outside of those protected areas to peck and scratch around my backyard. The benefits of this practice is that the chicken have a lot more space to peck and scratch around, eating bugs and seeds and beneficial grass and greens, which is vital for them to stay healthy. They also leave their droppings behind, which act as a natural fertilizer for the soil. The chickens does not wander too far away from their run and coop, and that's because they want to stay as close enough as possible if they have to run to safety, and their safe space is their run and coop, which is protected. Now, these chickens are just happily pecking around, running around, doing what they would normally do if they're not domesticated, right? Look at them. They're all happy, running through the orchard, pecking on all those bugs and all those good beneficial greens and grass, whatever is starting to sprout up, and they're enjoying that quite a bit. They're not going too far off, like I said, and they're just exploring that space, and excited to be able to do that. This space is full of bugs because bugs and microbes and all that stuff that lives in those wood chips and in the grass, they're in there, and the chickens are just enjoying all those good nutritional benefits. And this practice also helps with the supplementation of feed. Instead of them eating the feed that I provide for them, they have all this good natural free food that they're just pecking around and scratching around, and it all goes in a circle because they peck around and they poop or leave their droppings right there, and it, like I said, it acts as a fertilizer. It adds nitrogen to the soil, and it's beneficial all around. So I enjoy doing this. I actually stay out here with them for about an hour or two at a time and just enjoy them in this natural habitat, doing what they do best, living their little chicken lives, and I'm happy to see them do that. You keep your chickens happy and healthy, you're going to get happy and healthy eggs. And these chickens are not noisy at all. They're just pecking and enjoying that space. Look at them. It's so big of a space for them that they're used to, even though they have two runs, their indoor runs and their outdoor runs, like I said. And they're just enjoying getting all those bugs because there's a lot of worms and bugs that it can peck around right out here. It's nice and sunny. They're just scratching and pecking and pecking and pecking because all chickens do is eat and peck every day. And they also would pick up the tiny rocks, and that would help with their digestion. Look at them, all happy. Not a care in the world, just pecking and eating and filling up. They don't fly away, they don't wander away, and they just stay in the back where they're enjoying themselves. Now, one of the things that I've heard about free ranging your chickens in an outdoor space like this is that they're at a higher risk for bacteria, harmful bacteria at that. But I have never had this issue while free ranging my chickens this way. And besides, I give them fruit cider vinegar in their water that I make at home, and I haven't had any issues with them. My chickens are healthy, and this is a practice that I've been doing for a very long time. So until something happens and until I have an issue with doing that with my chickens, then I would switch something and do something differently. But for now, I'll continue keeping my chickens healthy by practicing to free range them and let them enjoy a bigger space and supplement my feed and get more manure in my garden and in my yards, because this just saves a lot of money, and I know where everything comes from, right in my yard, and it goes back right to my yard. They are loving this. Look at them back here. And what I'm going to do now is head over to my compost pile, and I will show you as I go over there what I do for my chickens, and they just love it. They just run right up to me, and they love when I do this. If you notice here, the chickens are on alert, and they can hear like a hawk overhead, and they're really alert, making sure that they have a safe space. But I'm going to head over to my compost pile, and I would show you what I do for the chickens, and they get all excited about it. So off we go to the compost pile. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way. Look at you, silly rooster. All right. So this compost pile, I have been doing this since last year, last summer. So this will be all ready and good for this year's garden. Look at that. Everything is breaking down really nicely. And I am going to show you all the goodness that's going on in there. Look at her. She's already ready to grab her worms. They love scratching around in the compost, getting all those fat worms in there. Let me show you. There you go. They peck out there's so much worms in there. And they run over and they peck on their worms and they scratch around and they drop their poop, which acts as nitrogen to help this stuff break down. Look at that. Nice and dark. Nice and dark. That's like black gold, they call it. And this is all natural stuff from the leaves, chicken poop, spent greens from the garden that I just threw there and kept turning it. And the chickens enjoy all of this protein. And this goes into your eggs. So your eggs are very nutritional when you raise it yourself, and use practices such as these to raise your chickens for eggs. So this practice really has opened my eyes, as to how things would work in nature, because this is really beneficial for these chickens, and the chickens would do what is best for them. I don't think you would ever come across chickens. Look at them running. They know there's feed. There's something going on in here. There's something sharing. Now look at them, and they know that their worms are right in there. It's good for their feathers. It's good for their guts. They're enjoying those worms. That's a lot of protein. That is literally free. I don't have to pay for that. They're right here also in my back garden, just pecking around, because there's also worms. It's a rich, healthy soil that I try to promote all the time just by using natural material. And it saves a lot of money when you use practices such as these, like I said before. You can't go wrong with doing this. These chickens are definitely having a good old time. Look at them. There's always something to be pecking. Pecking, pecking, pecking. That's all they do, pecking and scratching and pooping. And they are loving the compost because it's full of worms, like I said. A lot of worms there. All I have to do is get that fork and stick it in there and turn it once, and they would do the rest. I mean, I don't even have to do that, because once there's food in there, they will figure it out and they would know. That's natural for them. It comes up from their natural instinct. So they would scratch and peck and they would find their food. So that's how they do it. And they are loving every bit of it. And that also helps break down the material in there when they scratch around like that. So that it's beneficial all around. And as you can see, I have different varieties of chickens right there, but they're all really great egg layers. I get different colored eggs, different size eggs, And these birds are all laying. And I also have different ages here. I have 6 older birds, which are 4 years old, and I have 11 5 months. Well, they're almost 6 months. I'll call them 6 months for now, but they're 6 months old. Even Roo, Mr. Roo is. I call him Mr. Roo. But these are leghorns. I have 4 leghorns. I have 2 French cockamarans. I have 3 Isa Browns, and they are prolific layers. All these chickens just lays tons of eggs, and they lay 1 egg per day. And now that these chickens are younger, though 6 months old chickens, they're gonna lay an egg every day for the first 3 years. And that's a lot of eggs. So it is worth it for me to be raising these chickens and to be able to raise it the way that I do, because I have the space and I can supplement their food. I can use materials from my garden, which is natural. They can also eat from my garden, which I always feed them from my garden. So it's a really good practice for me. And I'm so happy that I'm able to do this for my chickens. I learn a lot from raising chickens on my own. And this is not the commercial way that you would see chickens are being raised. Because when chickens are being raised for commercial purposes, you don't see them free ranging like this with all this space, but getting to peck around and all that stuff. You would notice that these chickens are all crammed in a small space, and they're there just to push eggs out every day. And after the first year, I would say, or 2, they would be getting rid of those chickens and get a new start. And so for those of you that don't know and you speculate and you talk about, oh, chickens are being raised this way and why are you eating chickens and why are you eating meat and all this stuff, because I also do raise chickens for meat purposes, and I raise the Cornish cross broilers and the Red Ranger broilers. But this is what I would say a humane way to raise these chickens. I treat them as if they matter. I treat them well. I make sure they're healthy. I make sure they are properly fed with a balanced diet. And I make sure that they have a lot of space that they can roam around for a bit. And I stay with them, like I said, and I monitor them, and I just enjoy looking and learning, so that way I'm able to share and to teach someone if they don't know about raising chickens and they're thinking about doing it. Yes, I'm happy to share this. And this is just my way of doing it, my method of doing it in the space that I have to do it in. And so I'm really happy that I'm able to share this on this platform so that others could learn, or if they're not doing this way and they have the capability of doing it, then they can, try it my way if they think they want to try it. You don't have to do it my way, but I'm just sharing to show people, just like I watch other people on different platforms and I learn different methods. I'm so happy to share my methods and my way. So let me show you again all the good nutritious worms in there, and I'm doing this with one hand. Let's see how good I am with this one hand. Let's see how good this is going to work. And look at all these worms, all these good worms. There's tons and tons of worms in there. Look at that, just one fork full. I'm going to turn this up. Look at that already. I don't even have to lift it up for them. They can just scratch and get all those good free worms. Look at that. And if this material was not natural and environment friendly, the worms would never be in that compost. If there's any chemicals in there or any foreign materials that the worms don't like, that they don't enjoy, and that's not good for the soil, these worms would not thrive in there the way they are thriving. So that's just to show you how important it is for you to utilize your natural materials, like your leaves and your sticks and all of that, all your old stuff that you pull out of your garden. You can just throw it in your compost pile. You don't have to do much with it. It will break down. And the reason why I turn it during the summer, so I can keep it during the warmer months because I can keep it heated up and it can break down as faster way of it breaking down. But yeah, this is it, guys. This is my methods, and you know, I enjoy doing this. It's a lot of constant work, but if my chicken's happy, then I'm happy. I'm happy to do that and allow them to live a decent life while they're in my care. So you know that those eggs are going to be nutritious because all this stuff, they're going to process it. It's going to go right through them. And I'm going to have really nutritious eggs to eat. So to get these chickens back in the area where I need them to be back in, I will show you what I do. Look at them. They already know that I'm coming to get them treats. So they're looking at me in the shed while I'm trying to retrieve their treat. They know what it sounds like. And I'm going to take that and they're going to just naturally follow me back to the area. Wherever I'm going, they're just going to follow me. I really don't have a difficult time getting them back into their run space. So this is the reason why I practice it this way. And I think they're at this point, they're already used to me doing it that way. Normally I have someone back here with me in case I need a hand. So I just choose to do it when my husband's available. And so I'm going to just walk into their run space. And I'm going to throw a handful of grains and they're just going to run towards it. So I'm throwing little by little so the other ones that are all over the place can see that I'm throwing treats around and they can come in and get their treats. Where are they? Come on, they're way over there because they didn't see what's going on as yet, but I'm going to go get them. Come on, y'all. So what I'm doing here is that I'm tapping on that little bucket in my hand to draw their attention. And if you notice, they are coming. I just make a little noise so that they can be alert because they're always alert. And I just throw the feed that way. Not the feed, I just throw the grains that way and they're going to try to come towards that area where I am because they know it's some good stuff. Even though they've been out here pecking around the whole time. I don't think chicken ever stop eating and pecking. They just peck and peck and peck around. So I'm going to open the gate a little bit wider because sometimes they miss the gate and they keep going around and around. And I'm going to allow them to come into that area. Look at that, they're all going in. Look at those back there scratching still. Okay, somebody just laid an egg. Let's see what they got for eggs. I want happy eggs. Let me show you guys what I got for today so far. I have 4 in here and I have 4 up there, so I have 8 so far today. Oh, look at them, they're coming back in on their own. No issues because I'm in here just throwing the feed around, throwing the grains around so that it can come and enjoy it. Look at them running along. Come on, come on. I'm going to throw some close to the gate so they could hand over to the gate and get them. Look at that. See? That's all you need to do. Keep throwing it over to the gate. They'll head on over to the gate and get it. Look at them coming in. It's easy, guys. It's not rocket science. Look at them, and they're all in. All 17 of them, they're in. And now hubby's gonna, I gotta give you a credit. Hubby's just gonna come behind them and close the gate in so that they don't get back out. Thank you, love.
You're welcome.
And that's how easy it is. Teamwork. So as much as you see me out here doing what I do have help from my hubby. We're in this together. So this is how I give my chickens some extra playtime and some treats so they can all stay happy and healthy. They had their worms and they have this grain mix here that I mixed for them, and they're happy. So I'm gonna have happy chickens and therefore happy eggs. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time right here on Fifi's Journey.